Hello Vikings, Mr. T here. Welcome to registration for 2023-2024. We have a lot to go over, so let's get started.
Registration is super important because we want you to be familiar with your graduation requirements and pick some classes you're excited about.
We are excited to partner with you to help pick classes for next year.
It's registration time.
In this video, we will discuss the steps for registration, how to review credits, and also other non-credit graduation requirements, including directions for the high school and beyond plan, and also talk a little bit about supports that are available for students at Lake Stevens High School. We really want you to be familiar with the steps for registration. So first of all, we want you to review your credit graduation requirements. We want you to have time to really explore our course planner that have all of our classes listed, and also choose the ones that are right for you. So we encourage you, talk with your friends, talk with your family, talk with your teachers, talk with your counselor if you have a chance about which classes are going to be right for you. You are going to need to fill out a registration form and enter your classes into Skyward both. You will have a chance to turn in your registration form and show us that you did this in Skyward at your registration meeting. For the class of 2024 and 2025, at these meetings, February 14th or 15th, please be ready with questions and to turn these forms in to us. Have new counselor assignments, so please check below. This was a tough decision, and if you were in our alpha or are currently in our alphabet right now, we are still your counselor until the end of the school year. But for registration meetings, we are going to ask that you meet with your counselor for next year. So just double check as these have changed.
I'm Miss Sarah Bowman, and I have last names A through DA.
I'm Emily Chilson, and I'm super excited to work with students for next year with the last names that start with D, B through H.
I'm Mrs. Wickland. I am one of the counselors at the high school. For next school year, I will have students letters I through MI for your last name. Any students that I currently have that don't fall in that category, I will finish out this school year with you. And then starting next school year, all of my students whose last names are I through MI will be mine. So it's lovely to meet you.
The Vikings, Sel Hernandez, aka Mr. T. I work with students with the letters MJ through SC. So if that's you, I will see you around.
I'm Mrs. Lewis, and for next year, I'm going to have all students with last name SD through Z. So if that's you, make sure you come see me for registration.
Hi, this is Mrs. Wickland. I'm going to go through some graduation requirements and a few other things for you guys today. Getting out of high school means that you have to complete 24 total credits. So we have to get to 24 to get your diploma. And it's broken down to a bunch of different categories with some elective choices as well. So to start, everyone needs 4 years of English. So every single school year, you will be registering for English. Every student needs 3 years of social studies. That starts in your sophomore year with Modern World and goes on to your junior year with US and your senior year with Civics and CWI. All of those also have an AP equivalent to go along with them. You are required to have 3 years of math to graduate. We encourage that you take a fourth year if you are college bound or planning on going into a career that may be math based. And you'll be registering for the math class you believe is your next step. However, we'll be working with your current teachers for placement. And then towards the end of the school year in May and June, we will revisit that with your teachers to make sure that we have you guys in the right math placement. You need 3 years of science to graduate. It starts in 9th grade with physical science. 10th graders will take CCP or chemistry. 11th graders will take biology, and then as a 12th grader, you can choose to take more science, or you may be replacing that with one of your elective or personal pathway choices. You need 2 health and PE credits. One of those credits is done at CAV in the 9th grade year with your health and your PE class. The other credit needs to be done at LSHS and can be done any of the 3 years. However, we really encourage that you do that during your sophomore year so that you have space in your junior and senior year for potential other classes you may want to fill your schedule with. You all need to take 1 credit of CTE or Career in Tech course. We have a ton of different choices for that requirement, but you need 1 full credit to graduate. Below that, there is a spot that it breaks up into an or scenario. So you have to take 2 fine art credits, or you can choose to take 1 fine art credit and 1 personal pathway choice. And when I say personal pathway choice, that means any class that meets maybe your post-high school plans or a class that you were hoping to take for your future job. But it can be almost any class you choose here at the high school. Below that is 2 world language credits, or you can choose 2 personal pathway classes. So, for example, if I knew that I wanted to go from Lake Stevens High School to a 4-year university, I would choose the world language track for that. But if I was certain that my path is going to lead me to a community college or a tech school, I would choose the personal pathway choice and maybe take courses that fit the career that I want to be doing when I'm out of high school. So just be aware that the fine arts and the world language requirements have an or scenario attached to them. So you have some choice there. Beyond all of those requirements, everything else you take is considered a general elective. All of that will equal up to 24. So anything you take above and beyond those requirement areas will be considered a general elective. So if I took 4 years of math instead of 3, my 4th year of math would be one of my general electives. So that is the general, like, how many credits do I need to get out of high school and get my diploma, and what kind of classes do I have to take? So once you know that, then you need to think, what classes do I need to take? So if I'm a sophomore, I know I need to take English, social studies, math, science, and probably PE. But if I'm a senior, I may only need to take an English, social studies, and math and get to have some choice in my other 3 classes. So you might want to decide, is it going to require world language? Do I need to sign up for AP courses because that's the track I want to go? Do I have interest in Snow Isle if I'm a junior or senior? Do I have a plan to do Running Start if I'm a junior or senior? Do I speak another language fluently and want to have the opportunity to take the world language test? So you have a lot of choices after the needs about classes you may want to take. One way to help you figure out what you have left to do would be to look on Skyward. There's a graduation table, and it lists all the classes you have taken, what you've completed, what's in progress, and what you still need. If you're looking at this and it's confusing, or you see something that looks a little wonky, come see your counselor and we will help sort that out and or answer any of the questions about it. So you've got lots of classes you need to take, but there's plenty of space for stuff you want to do. After you kind of made those decisions, you'll want to visit our online course planner, and we'll have a link on the video. We'll have links in our email and links in anything that we send out from this point forward. So on the course planner, it will list the courses that we offer with information about the course, if they're available for college and high school credit, if they're an AP course, what the prerequisite is to take that course. So make sure you're reading through which courses you actually meet the prerequisite for. On top of all the course information, it has all of our registration information, and it has a bunch of post-high school information, like how to get prepared for college or tech school. It will house our graduation information. So this is going to be a thing that you want to make sure to maybe tab this on your browser on your Chromebook so you can reach it anytime. Page will have announcements and information on it. What's going to be important for students during the registration process is the course description tab at the top, and it lists all of our courses that kids have to choose from this school year. So for example, if you had to pick your English class for next year, you would click on English and it tells you the pathways to get through our English department, and then each course is described below. And it gives you the prerequisite, how many credits it's worth, if it has college and the high school information. And so every department has this set up. On top of that, like for example, in the science department, you can see which classes are AP, which are not, which ones will be available this year, which won't. And we also added some videos that kind of give you an update about what that class is all about. So if you have questions about what chemistry might look like, you can click on this video and it will give you an update onto like the interesting stuff happening in that class. Also on this page, we have a graduation requirement section that goes through all things that can answer most questions regarding graduation and beyond. We have a planning college section if you have questions about you and your student planning for college. We also have resources in here for a bunch of different things. Right now it has the Work to Be Well stuff, which is old from last year, and then we will be adding the new updated information to this planning guide for this school year. So each school year we have a different planning guide. Please have your students really pay attention to the course description area, because what kids choose to take for courses through registration does help determine our master schedule for the following school year. And so we have to really make sure that kids have signed up for classes they're interested in and that they want to be taking. So just take some time to go through all of these subject areas and make sure that your student and you are most informed about what the classes are that we even offer here. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to your counselor. We are here to help and guide.
We know a lot of you have applied and maybe even interviewed for Snow Isle, and we've also heard about a lot of interest in Running Start for next year. We do ask that all students go ahead and register for full 6 classes for next year, just in case. If you get into Snow Isle in the spring, we'll fix your request for you. For Running Start, it's a really complicated process that involves a lot of steps. So as part of the steps, we do help, like you will meet with a counselor, and we will help you fix your schedule at that time. So if you want to watch these videos, this is in our Google slide presentation. You just come to the slide and click here to watch a message from Mr. T about Snow Isle and Miss Lewis about Running Start. Okay, after you watch this video, your teacher will hand you a scheduling form in paper today. So in class, you'll have a guideline of sorts to help you make these choices. So we really try to list your choices for you for the either required courses and or highly recommended or suggested courses for you. And then there's also the elective and alternative choices and also alternates. So this is the senior form, and this also has some other important graduation information. There's also a place for your signature and a parent guardian signature. We hope you are getting these signed and bringing these back to us when we meet with you in person. Here is the junior class form. So both the class of 2024 and 2025 have a little checkbox place up here for either if you're interested in Running Start or Snow Isle. Please note that this does not actually sign you up for these programs. There are other steps that you have to do to apply and get ready for them. But this does give us an idea if that's something that you're interested in, and we can have the chance to follow up with you if necessary. So the junior form, as you can see, is very similar to the senior form in the core coursework. And let's talk about alternates for a minute. So if you choose class options that either have way too many students sign up for them, or if it just doesn't work with your other choices, we may not be able to give you your first pick for electives. And so if you can give us a couple of alternates, that makes it so that if you don't get your first choice, hopefully you'll get your second choice. And of course, please feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to answer questions about that. During registration week, email is the easiest way, but please don't be surprised if it takes us just a little bit to get back to you, as our volume is really high during this time. The sophomore class of 2026 form is yellow, as you can see, and it's pretty similar, but we will see current CAV students on February 16th, and we're hoping that you bring this to us filled out and signed as much as possible. For any and all of these forms, if you aren't sure which option to pick in any of these categories, we want to point you in the direction of our Lake Stevens Planning Guide. So I just clicked on course descriptions to give a menu of the different options. So if I'm really not sure what kind of elective do I want to take, am I, interested in some career or tech ed classes or fine art classes or phys ed? This gives them all. So this is your place to explore. And by category, this is a great place to start. And please talk to friends, talk to your teachers about what options would be right for you. And we're always happy to help.
Hey there again, Mr. T. So now that you have your classes picked out and you've talked with a parent or guardian about those choices, you can go ahead and enter your request into Skyward. It's really simple, and this is how it works. So you're gonna log into your Skyward. You're gonna click on Schedule, then click on Course Request for the years 2023-2024. Course Request 2023-2024, which is towards the top right of the screen. And please make sure you add the classes you plan to take next year. And very important, you have to check to be sure that it's six credits total at the end. 06. And please do not forget about your alternates. Please fill out your alternate choices because you do not want to be stuck with some classes you don't want at the beginning of the year. And once you've done all of that, you're done. All you have to do is X out, and I promise it will save.
Okay, step 5 are your registration meetings. First of all, let me just say, please everyone, check your school email because really important documents and links will be sent there in case you weren't there on the day that the video was shown, or if you just aren't sure where to find the course planner online. So for the class of 2024 and 2025, please mark your calendar for your registration date, time, and place. It will either be February 14th or February 15th. So that's a Tuesday or a Wednesday. You will get an email from your counselor about where to go and when. And it's a little confusing because sometimes it's at the beginning of class and sometimes it's at the middle, in the middle of your class period. And everybody is a little bit different when they're going to be asked to come down to meet with us. At this meeting, we will answer questions and we'll do everything we can to make sure that you have had a chance to get this set up for yourself. For the class of 2026, the Lake Stevens High School counselors will come to Cavallero. So we'll see you in person on February 16th. That's a Thursday. And we're hoping that everyone, before you turn in your registration form, hopefully it's signed by a parent or guardian, that you take a picture and you turn it in to us, your counselors, at your registration meeting. And then also, we really, really want to stress to you that you need to enter your classes into Skyward if you haven't.
That was a
already.
lot to take in. Don't stress too much. We're here to help. If you have any questions, here are some options. Bring those questions to your small group meeting time. You can also email your school counselor, but please note our volume is extremely high during this time. We'll do our best to answer as quickly as possible. Need to make a change to your registration? Emailing your counselor is the best way to do this. We have the flexibility to make changes after the deadline if need be.
All right, guys, let's take a minute and talk about your graduation requirements that aren't necessarily just earning your 24 credits, because there is still a couple of other things you need to make sure you do. The first is to meet your Washington State history requirement. If you're a student that's been with us for a long time, you went to CAB in 8th grade, you already probably met that requirement. However, if you're newer to our district, don't panic. We've actually embedded that requirement both in our U.S. history class and in our senior civics class. So as long as you plan to take one of those with us, you will meet that requirement just by passing those classes. classes. If you don't think you meet any of those options, just stop by your counselor's office and we'll help you get it figured out. Your high school and beyond plan. All students do have certain criteria they need to complete and have updated by the end of their senior year in their high school and beyond plan. Hopefully you're updating that every year and it makes sense for you. But if not, or you need some help with that, go ahead and stop by your counselor's office or see Miss LaFortune in the Career Center. All students at Lake Stevens High School are also required to meet a community service requirement. We require you to complete 15 hours of community service each year you're here with us at the high school. That comes to 45 hours total. All of your hours can be turned in using the community service form, and you can hand those to Miss Gina Buckmiller in the Career Center. Your final requirement is to complete a graduation pathway. This one can be a little bit tricky because there's multiple different ways that you can meet it. You do have to meet standards in both math and English language arts. So one way you can do that is to pass the SBA test, which all students take as being a part of a Lake Stevens High School student. If that test isn't for you, you might meet the minimum score on the SAT or the ACT, or perhaps on the ASVAB if you're going to be military bound. If you're not a standardized test taker, that's not your strength, not to worry. You could also take an AP or a dual credit class in either math or English and meet the requirement that way. Or you can do what's called a CTE pathway. And you can complete that either by completing a program at Snow Isle for 1 year, or you could take 2.0 credits in the same CTE cluster here at Lake Stevens High School. And you can work with your individual counselor to make sure you're taking 2 CTE classes that make 1 CTE pathway.
We're going to talk about your high school and beyond plan. So you don't want to forget that each year you're required to update your high school and beyond plan as your plans may change and evolve. Entering these classes in the high school and beyond section is only one part of the step. You want to make sure that you are completing your registration packet and entering your classes into Skyward. And now I'm going to show you how to complete your high school and beyond plan. So within the Lake Stevens High School webpage, you will find the section Families and Students. You'll click on that, and then you'll click under H where it says High School and Beyond Plan. Then it's going to take you to this site, My School Data, which is what we use for our High School and Beyond Plan. Your user ID is going to be your student number, and then your password is whatever you use for your Skyward password. There is also a Forgot My Password link that you could get a temporary password that would last for 24 hours. Once you're within your high school and beyond plan, you are going to find there are 3 main questions that you need to answer first: the who am I, what can I become, and how will I become that? So you want to make sure that these are at least a sentence long and they aren't old from sometime when you filled this out at Cavallero. And then you're going to find that there are required fields. If they're green, that means you've completed these. If they're red and say incomplete, that's something that you need to fill out. So you're going to fill in your career interest area. So you need to have 3 of those: engineering, nursing, teaching, business, whatever it might be. Then what is your plan after you graduate from high school? Do you want to join the military, go to a 2-year college, 4-year college, get a job right away, whatever it might be? Then you'll find that there are a few more detailed questions, including what colleges, preferred colleges that you were thinking of going to. This person put that they're interested in going to Eastern Washington University. The way that I'm going to use these as a career specialist is if that I see that you put that you want to go to the UW, and I have a representative from the University of Washington coming in, I will pull the people from their high school and beyond plans and send them an invitation that you are interested in the UW. Same with careers. If I have somebody who's a firefighter or an attorney or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're trying to be accurate in your high school and beyond plan. Preferred areas of study could be law, business, medical, whatever it might be. And then if you are a person who's thinking of joining the military, they ask you to put those branches in as well. And again, I will use those to tell you that I've got the Air Force representative coming in at a certain date, things like that. A couple other components on your high school and beyond plan that you'll need to complete is uploading 2 things. You will need to upload a copy of your career preference chart, which we have done in your English 10 class or in another class, and you'll also attach a copy of a resume. Again, things that I have gone through with you. Most of you have done this in your English 10 class, or you will be doing this in your English 10 class or another class. Another component is going to be, we are going to be requiring parent signatures on this next year. So your parent will be provided a logon where they can go in and click that they have approved your plan to kind of just see what you're interested in doing. So if you don't have a resume attached or a screenshot, that is something that you can come in and see me about, or I can reach out to you, or we can cover in one of our career units in one of your classes.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Hudson. I'm the mental health support specialist here at the high school. My office is across the aisle or the hallway from the counseling center, adjacent to the career center. I work with students who are interested in changing and are working on knowing themselves and knowing others and knowing kind of their resources better. So I can help connect to outside resources. I can help connect to themselves. And sometimes even we work on how to connect with parents. I run groups and I work with students individually. I work with staff members on how to understand wellness and different practices that can happen in the classroom so that students are whole students and get academic and social emotional support. I'm going to walk you through 2 steps and then I'll say goodbye and Mr. Pitkin will introduce himself. It's me again. I'm down here in the box. My role in this video is to show you a little bit more about your resources. And so there's a few slides on your LSHS planning guide that might be helpful. So if you were to go up here, here's my little arrow, up here to resource links, you can also click on these links. So this goes to the Career Center, to different clubs and sports, a list of them, to the Counseling Center information, to Mr. Pitkin's information, my information, the Student Assistance Program again, and a list of all of our teachers and staff. There's also information on community programs, local mental health providers, and other lists that can help parents and students talk to each other about wellness. So that is my role.
Hi Vikings and future Vikings. This is Steve Pitkin. I'm the intervention specialist here at Lake Stevens High School. Hey, look forward to meeting people. I have all kinds of relationships with students, but my main role in our counseling department is to support students who have questions about substance use and related life experiences that come with that. Sometimes that students have their own experience with that, or they have peers with issues like that, or family members, and so we try to offer a safe place to talk about that. I work closely with our other counseling team, but also do other things here. I'm the tennis coach for both boys and girls. That's a really fun thing to do, and the advisor for the Natural Highs Network. So that's a club we have to offer music and other kind of cultural experiences that are drug-free. So anyway, look forward to meeting you. Take care.
Okay, so just a friendly reminder, you must complete both the paper registration form and your Skyward course requests so that we can make sure to get your accurate classes for next year. It is so important for you to talk to a parent or guardian or somebody at home about the choices that you're making and the decisions for your future. So we really want to encourage you to do that. Also, just another reminder, check your email. That's where all the registration materials are. That's where you can plan for registration in-person time. It has the links to the online course planner. So all of the stuff is there. We do have the registration meetings posted here, but that will also be emailed to you. We also just want to make sure that you hear it from us. Whatever your next steps after high school are going to be, whether it's the military or technical field, apprenticeship, four-year university or community college, we want you to know how important it is right now to show up to your classes, get involved, and do your best to get the grades that are going to help you achieve your goals. But we all make mistakes, and please don't give up. This is your education, this is your journey, and we're really thrilled to be a part of it, and we want to help support you along the way. Keep asking questions, and thank you so much. Have a great day.